Today we're reacting to content creators are getting the beats for clip farming. Now this isn't only just about that DDG thing, you know, we already watched this. There's more clips in here, but it's touching on the broader part of the clip farming. You see what I'm saying? Just so y'all know, y'all see that clip that we watched already, but it's the video's deeper than that. Is that, you know, that shout out all my people that I saw at DreamCon, bro. Everybody that came and showed love, dapped me up, that's real. Like, we got a lot of love, so I really appreciate that. Let's do it, man.
Doodle, I got set. This record? Is this record?
Oh, what you say?
Doodle.
Garbage. Oh, just real quick. We got going. Somebody hugged it. It hugged it. What you say?
Doodle garbage.
Oh, no recording, no recording, no recording, no recording, no recording.
So we're gonna skip this, but I saw a clip of dude saying he gonna press charges. I'd already kind of assumed that was gonna happen. And then I saw a clip of DDG saying, you know, my brother felt threatened for his life. What, I don't know how this goes, but the way all of that played out with the video footage and all of that, I could only imagine that nigga will win this. You know, lawyers and all of that, this is that and the third. Maybe they flip it, but I don't know. That shit don't look like it's gonna hold no way. Let's do it, bro.
Too far. Now, for those who are unfamiliar with the situation, it looks like DDG has had enough of the clip farms of the nicknames. And to be honest with you, I think that this serves as a good and fair warning for those that are coming into any sort of place and space thinking they can just clip farm. Like I've been telling people on this platform before, clip farming is not a way to make a career. It's not something that's long lasting. It's not something that is fulfilling. And ultimately, like in this situation, it led to some sort of physical violence. People don't realize these content creators can totally get upset with the clip farming and the name calling and the stuff that you...
And that's what I be saying, like, cause it's just so much. And especially think about somebody who like they're not really on that. They're not really on with the bullshit, or they not with the constant and then how they react. You see what I'm saying? Like, niggas gotta keep things in, they gotta understand. I don't know why, I don't even get it. Like, why do you think, it's like people forget that there are potential consequences to actions, like, and that people are rogue. People have died for less. You feel me? People have died for less. So certain things, like, I don't know, I think they just see that maybe the one creator that's okay with the dude calling him a bitch ass nigga, and the other one not cool with it. You feel me? You go, oh man, you a bitch ass nigga, and then the war starts.
You get off. These people have real feelings too. So DDG gave people a fair warning just a couple days ago that if they continue with the clip farms, if they continue throwing these insults, if they continue with the name calling, then this is going to be the situation at hand.
If a fan came up to me on some doodle garbage, bro, I'ma hold that so goddamn bad, bro. No better.
Now, whether you believe DDG or not, this doo-doo garbage, you know, name calling or insult that stemmed from Bruce dropping him off in his beef just a couple months ago is clearly
I thought that was
affecting.
so.
And I know that some people might think that he's soft or whatever the case may be, but the reality of the situation,
I thought So made that.
is if they don't know you, they're not going to tolerate it. And besides that fact, why do people think that this is the way to get content? Like, I think that this is so short-sighted, and maybe they've been influenced by whoever and whatever, or whatever the case may be. But even like Agent says, something that I agree with, clip farming and doing this sort of content is something that is not going to build you an audience. It's not something that's going to be long-lasting, and ultimately you are going to be forgotten the next day.
Why they disrespecting him like that though? If you gonna yap nonsense to it right in front of his face, you gotta be prepared for them consequences. It's not even clip farming.
That's what I'm saying,
bro. It's just trying to be remembered. They don't even give a matter being remembered. Like, bro, you're gonna be remembered as I just chose to troll, bro, and then we will never hear of you again.
And I do agree with Agent, but the foundation of streaming has totally shifted in the past couple of years, where this is what people see as entertainment. This is what people see as the content. They believe that getting their name out there, no matter what and no matter what expense, is the way to go about doing these things. But ultimately, what he's saying is 1,000%.
I wonder where does that stem from, y'all? Like, people like this is how you get lit. You have to tweak. Like you gotta be on some wild shit. I think it's not a direct person now that I say that. I think it's more so just, what we allowed to go viral. And, y'all know me. I'm not sitting here talking about, that shit not funny. No. One of my favorite creators, if y'all know him, if you know, you know, his name is My House is Dirty. That nigga will do things like be in Home Depot and have some plywood, holding a big ass thing of plywood and bonking on the nigga's head, like actually assaulting people. He was at Home Depot. He had a prank where the nigga, you know how at Home Depot you go to the garden section and the dude spraying the leaves. The nigga was spraying people, and if I don't know who that is and I'm getting sprayed, I'm spazzing. And to other people, that's not funny. To me, that shit's hilarious though. So I'm not saying like it's the issue. No, I allow certain things like that to go viral too because I think it's funny. But it's all fun and games until that shit happen to you though. That's real. Because I know damn well if one of these niggas said, I'll tweet. Especially you spraying water in my... Yeah.
Percent right. At best, this guy will be remembered as the guy who got snuffed out by Dub and whatever cameraman and DDG and his whole collective. At worst, he'll be back to punching the clock. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you did all this in an attempt to become famous for what? Now, I'm not advocating for physical violence, so I wanted to see what Dub and DDG and the rest of the gang had to say about this, because although I don't agree with people insulting people, I do want to give them the benefit of the doubt and hear them out at least.
Grab me, I hit the. So then I'm like, bro, what the f? It was like a large crowd, and security grabbed me. I'm like, bro,
I see Tiny sleep dog, boy. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, my didn't even get on that.
Nah, yes it did.
No, it didn't.
Yes it did. I see Jason holding your camera and everything.
No, but I had no signal. I had 200.
Nah, your had signal when we did that skit.
Yeah, they said you didn't show anything.
Nah, I know, but still, like, you know how that be, bro. They banned Kelly for a skit, man. I ain't trying to get banned for a skit.
Now, I think DDG was really just trying to save face here. He didn't want to get banned from the con. He didn't want any sorts of issues with Twitch, any sort of lawsuit or anything like that, and he'll deal with it in the private eye. I think that he's a very strategic and tactical person, so, doing those things, he's good at covering them up. But ultimately, at the end of the day, and I can give this perspective because I am literally on the grounds of DreamCon. I came down for the weekend, and I'm recording this video hours after the situation happened. None of this really did anything at the con. None of this shook the airwaves. And all this guy got was the brakes beat off him. He was so unmemorable after the situation, it's almost amazing, which has me thinking again about points that I've had in the past about clip farming and what it does for you. In my last video about Streamer University, I had a take about these new content creators getting into this lane and don't rely on clip farming because it is not going to be something that will benefit you in the long run. If you don't remember, there were some content creators who had broke into Agent 00's room because they thought that he was running some black market and wanted to play into this whole theme of I'm taking advantage of the black market, stealing from it. But they literally broke into his actual room where actual things are, and it did not turn out the best for these guys.
Where is Jay at? Y'all think it's appropriate to come in my room when I'm not there? It's a difference between content.
Even in that interaction, No Limit Jay still doesn't understand the difference. Agent is seriously looking for him and voluntarily says, I'm right here. Now, I don't think he's being forthcoming and truthfully saying, hey, this is me, I'm No Limit Jay. I think he still thinks that this is still a part of some elaborate skit and scam, but he doesn't realize that he's crossed the line. He's literally broke into somebody's room, and all for the sake of getting a clip up. Now, in Agent's sit down and hashing out of the situation, he gave No Limit Jay a warning, something that we've been giving out for a long time that a lot of these content creators do not understand.
I didn't think this was actually your personal room. They said black market. They said Asian black market. They said this room. So I came up here.
It has beds, it has things. Like
no, I know, but I'm not thinking, there's
so
multiple
look, bro,
rooms.
there's
in it stash.
if you came in here and on some content busted in the room. If I'm in the room, I'm saying.
Right.
You coming in here without a camera, you got to think, oh, we just minimized it. My analytics is up.
No,
like,
I
my
didn't come
stream
here.
is up.
That's
My
what I'm saying,
counts
though.
it doesn't matter.
I understand that.
You came in the room.
Right.
You didn't know where the stuff was, right?
You're right.
Because we hit it.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't come all in these rooms like that. I was just peeking around.
Look.
Too much talking. Just you're in the wrong. Okay, that my apologies. Yeah, you're right, bro. That's on me. Too much talking, too much explaining. No, it would have been hard to continue this conversation with this.
And then we walked in there.
Listen. Be quiet.
There's lines, bro.
And while I get what Agent is saying, and I totally wholeheartedly agree, we have to look back at what's been happening over the past couple of years with content creation and realize that a lot of the stuff that's going on today are from actions of the past, stuff that we should have stopped and nipped in the bud a long time ago. But because we are now here, we're getting mad at basically these new creators for doing these things that their favorite creators have been doing in the past. Like, they're convinced that this is their way out. Like, this is the way to get a bunch of money, and they're willing to do any and everything in order to get that money.
All right, y'all. I guess I'm getting fired.
We knew that.
Yes!
Wait, what?
When the fuck did you? Was he there the whole time? I said the same shit.
Corey 2U was a big success at Streamer University. You know, took advantage of the whole situation, had DDG react to him and his clip farming attempts, and it went over fairly well. He didn't put anybody in harm's way. But the idea...
Did it a good job. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's stuff was in jeopardy, nobody's health or livelihood or nothing was getting inflicted or done. It was just pure like, oh, I'm talking shit, I'm laughing, haha, this, that, and the third. And I keep it in the realms of content. I like what he did, you feel me? I like how he was moving.
The idea of creating the content being just a continuous clip farm for what he says to be money, to me, just doesn't sit right. Because I have to ask, how far are you willing to go?
I went to Streamer U broke. My account was negative 612. My credit cards were maxed out, all because of content. I owed $322.50 on the Cash App. You know what's crazy, Chad? I had no bread to get back on that flight and check in any bags. I'm telling you, God is real, bro.
An inspirational story, but a warning sign nonetheless, because at the end of the day, there's something that is supposed to be more aspirational and inspirational to content creation than getting the money from doing said content creation.
Listen. There's nothing wrong with doing something because you're trying to get the money from it. I came into this, told y'all all the time, I didn't want to do this. I started this shit because I needed money. I learned to love it though. You feel me? I learned to love it. I feel like Corey has some type of love for this shit. You feel me? Because he just fucking came out there depleted. Nigga's whole fucking seemed like his whole life was on 1 HP. You feel me? So, excuse me. So, I don't think it's an issue, and I fuck with the leap that he takes. Some people are natural risk takers, willing to take big risks. I'm more of a strategic risk taker. I would have took that risk because I'm already so low. Like, what else? Okay, I'm gone for a while. I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna figure out how to get back. Like, okay, I could call some family or I could figure something out to get back on the flight. You feel me? Maybe my shit got left, but I got back. You know what I'm saying? I like that risk. That nigga's on 1 HP. So let me go over here and fight the final boss. I might lose this life anyway. Let me go ahead and fight the final boss. And you know how in the game when you used to play the game, right? And you would have no more heals left, you would have no more whatever, and you low as hell, but you just locked the fuck in. And you like, damn, I could beat the boss. Like, I did kind of get him down half, but you lock in and you end up winning that shit. I feel like that's what bro did. And then he gained all the loot. You know, the big monster or boss drop a hella loot and all types of shit. Get you all the way back up, get you new weapons and shit. Yeah, that's how he living. He beat the boss. Now he just got to continue playing the game. You feel me? And a new game came out. So it's now time for him to continue that journey.
situation. Because all that happens is you realize that the negative things, the clip farms, the over-the-top takes are the things that reign supreme. So you're willing to do any and everything in order to basically get it off. So once they start to learn that people like DDG are essentially the method, they're going to continue to rehash that over.
You know what I realized too about DreamCon and just what he's saying? This content creation shit can go a couple ways, right? You can get money and nobody know you. You walk around the whole shit, nobody say what's up to you, da da da. Or you get barely any love, whatever. You can get money and that could be your reality. You could get money and get fame and be walking around that hoe and you got money living. Or you could be fame, you could have some fame and some status but have no cheese. I know niggas like that were there. You feel what I'm saying? So, and we're getting a whole lot of love. So it really is like, in this case, like for some people that don't know how to make that way on the internet, just get money without being known. But I think once everybody, like, the thing about having some fame and status to your name is that you could turn things around. Like if you're able to walk in a room, people know who, oh, that's so and so. You have a recognizable face. It's easier for you to get money on the internet, right? But if you don't have too much going on, but you don't have too much status, but you are getting cheese, you kind of sit there comfortably looking around. But then something starts yearning in you a little bit. Like something inside you kind of starts making you be like, damn, that love and that status, that look cool. That look like fun. You see the big niggas walk by and it's a crowd of people begging and pleading for a photo and some more shit. It kind of make you be like, damn. You know, you start thinking. So when I say that, I said it to say, I think this content thing and this whole like situation, it's like a whole big dopamine chasing the next high type of thing. Like you never really kind of stop wanting more and more and more. And you might think you want money. You might think you don't want. I mean, you know how you be like, I mean, I don't want no fun. I just want to make sure I got money. You got money now. You chilling. And you kind of get bored, and you're like, okay, well, I kind of want to achieve more and figure some more stuff out. Like I'm not mad at the person that wants more status, fame. I'm not mad at the person that wants more money. Whatever the reason you're doing it for, I can appreciate both of it. You feel me? If I just love making videos and all the byproduct of it is just so great, that might be the best way to go about it. That sounds great, but at the same time, you know, there's a lot of niggas that are out here love making content, but it doesn't yield anything, and now they got to go to work all day, and it's hard for them to make content doing the thing that they love. So I'm not mad at no nigga that say I do this shit for fame. I don't do this shit for money. Like, I'm not saying that Meezy is, but that's just how I think when I think about it.
Over and over and over and over again, even if it means getting hands put on you or distracting from what is supposed to be a beautiful moment at something like Streamer University, where people are coming to actually physically learn.
Garbage.
Who said that?
You want to escort him out?
No, who said that?
I was answering his question.
Get out.
Leo they talking about. I'm with Bruce. I'm a plant. They talking about.
Another issue that I have with clip farming is that these people get so wrapped up into it, you know, instead of building the actual audience, but going
like, I guess, I mean, I don't know, that was just some class clown shit to me.
For the clicks and the views, that it ultimately becomes their brand, and it can be damaging. I know y'all are tired of me beating this dead horse, but this is basically the Zoe Spencer paradox. Going out there, doing whatever it takes in order to continue
this is an embarrassing
get some sort
clip.
of traction, likes, or views, that it becomes your brand, to the point where you have the internet blasting you and calling you annoying for who you are.
I don't think Zoe's I don't think she's annoying. I think that's kind of her brand though, bro. So like, if you're not comfortable around it, then you're not comfortable around it. But that's just her brand, bro.
Now, with that being said, all of that could be true. It could be her brand, but at some point, people are ultimately going to get tired of this persona.
That's like saying like, yeah, that's just how she acts. It's like, don't matter. Don't give a fuck if her brand. I don't care. This niggas' brands are there's all types of wild ways people brand themselves. Like, it could be it's just annoying, or it's not. It's that you're not gonna have too much longevity with a brand like that. That's why brands be moving a certain way. Like, okay, yeah, this aligns with our brand or this doesn't, and we might need to change the morals of our brand or however it is, because this shit is obviously not is going in a downward spiral.
There's nothing genuine about you. You're just wanting to and willing to whip out a phone and a camera in order to capture any moment. And that could be at anybody's expense. And ultimately, this will blow over sooner rather than later. But right now, this stain on her image of being annoying or being some person who commits SA without any sort of context behind it is hurting her in a bigger way than it is helping her. Now, with the clip farming at an all-time high, it begs the question, should there be some sort of ramifications for clip farmers? Now,
No. Other than the regular life ramifications that happen whenever you make a poor mistake, no. If a nigga want to act the ass, let him act the ass. It might get him lit. It might make him fall. But there should be no ramifications for a nigga, depending on what the clip farm is. As long as the nigga not out here doing some freaky, deaky, wild, murderous shit, okay.
I don't know what that is outside of just a community shunning. And ultimately, I think that the views will be reflective of the content that they put out. Because what I've noticed this past weekend is that a lot of these clip farmers, a lot of these new age streamers, a lot of these people wanting to participate in this content really don't have a plan.
Making the stallions use tequila, so you get to test it out and take a picture in the photo booth.
I don't know. It's really free Tory, so I don't know. I said it's free Tory. We signed with my man's Tory.
They're just out there.
That was bold as hell. I mean, again, that could have went any way, but that made me chuckle.
They're trying to get the most outlandish clips possible.
No, bro. Oh. Hey, you guys. Hey, what's up?
Look at my young nigga. Look at my young nigga. DreamCon was not, bro. Somebody was like, man, you got to bring your Shunda out here one day. Bro, fuck no. There was a line to Cream Con there. There was some girl, apparently there was some erotic shit going on. You had to be 18 and up. Ashley moving around in a fucking Pikachu outfit. Like, this shit was for adults. My young nigga like, damn, I'm over here trying to learn. I'm over here looking at an AMP fucking anime poster on some poster board. And this girl talking about Asian. Let me suck that thing.
It's possible.
No, bro. Oh. Hey, you guys. Hey, what's up?
I'm echoing my sentiments from the Streamer University video and live stream that I did just last week. Again, in this video, I saw a bunch of up-and-coming content creators, people aspiring to be content creators, truly not knowing what they're doing, not having a plan, not having a direction, not having an identity outside of trying to get the best clip possible. What did that woman try to gain from telling Agent that he's so fine she would suck his dick? Like, I understand the moment and it's funny or whatever the case may be, but how do you go about building a brand on top of that? I understand the guy doing the fake pass out thing. It's funny for the moment until it's not funny for the moment. And
what do you want to be known for? You want to be known for that? Like, you want your foundation to be known for when they go back and people are studying, like, how did this guy blow up? Well, let me go watch. Or if he probably didn't blow, but because this is the thing, niggas will box themselves, bro. Literally, they see some shit working, they don't know how to pivot, or they spam something too much. That's why I do as much, like, I stay in it's good to be niched on YouTube or niched for something, and as a content creator. But you don't, like, that's like me coming on here and only doing O'Shea videos, or only doing this type of person videos, or only doing this or that. Like, there's a guy that he makes a good video. Like, I think we reacted to it, why everybody cuts their dreads, but his whole channel is dread content. dreads are hard right now, but I remember when everybody had a low cut with waves. We all get older, cut these bitches, and it's like how you end up cutting a year. Everybody done cut they shit, and we fucking rocking spiky mohawks on our head and shit. Now what? Like, it's like, and then you just want to be known as the dread guy. That's it. Like, sometimes you gotta really take the leap and understand that, okay, my shit is gonna take a hit, my views will take a hit, but it's for the greater good. You see what I'm saying? I've had to make that sacrifice multiple times, but you just have to be confident in yourself that you are funny enough, you are more entertaining enough to build in that realm that you want to build in. You feel me? You got to take the risk that you feel like is best, but you can't. If you box yourself and you're known as that's the guy. Bro, I went to DreamCon and niggas thought I had some nigga come up from from podcast shit from Don, shit y'all don't even know about. Podcast shit from Don, reaction shit like we're doing here, my other shit when I was doing TikToks, and when I was doing my main channel videos. You feel me? Like, it was just all spread out.
It's not funny for the moment, very, very fast. These are people that don't have any sort of repackaging plan for their content, throw it up, thumbnail, title. They don't have any way of feeding it to another audience. They are literally searching for and looking for the biggest content creators at the convention or at whatever establishment they're at or whatever moment that they can get and trying to get some sort of clip from that. Like, how will that young lady go about uploading that video to a YouTube or to a Twitter? What thumbnail, title? I told Agent 00 I would suck his dick. I told the biggest content creators at the con I would suck their dicks. Is that content? I don't think that that's content. That's just a clip. And that clip is not gonna be long lasting. Ultimately, we knew that clip farming would get to a point where people were basically getting their hands and feet placed on them by anybody else because they are going over the top. And I don't condone what DDG, Dub, and the cameraman did to that young man today, but please let this be a warning to a bunch of people out there. Clip farming isn't content. Look, I want to take a second here at the end of this video to do something that I don't normally get to do. By the time this uploads and is out for a couple hours, I'm projecting that we will cross 100,000 subs.
Oh man, shout out Omeezy, bruh. Hope that nigga get that 100K. Oh, he got it. This is my other account. I'm still to him on my other one, but I'm gonna give him that sub. Shout out that nigga Omeezy for 100K, man. Real nigga. That being said, man, we gonna go ahead and move on to our other videos, bro. Thank y'all so much. I love you. I appreciate y'all. Great for y'all. Sorry, I'm a little bit low energy. I had such a long weekend. As soon as I'm super rejuvenated and back, you know what I'm saying, in the gym and some more shit, I'm gonna be back regular me. But I am trying to get some of this fatigue off me, so just bear with me for the day or two. Thank y'all, man. We gone. Love you. I appreciate y'all. Great for y'all. We gone. Let's do it.